Hello everyone, welcome to Beaver's Hobby channel. This is the review of FlySky Noble NB4 transmitter, the first high-end transmitter from FlySky. First of all, thank you Banggood for sending me this transmitter for a review. Now let's get started. The packaging is really nice, and you can immediately tell it is a high-end product, or at least that's what it aims to be. Inside the box we have the transmitter. Everything feels nice and solid. You can adjust the wheel position from right-handed to left-handed easily without having to take everything apart, unlike other radios. There's also pre-installed screen protector. Next, there are two receivers, one big and one small. This might be different if you buy it from somewhere else. For example, Hobby King gives you two small receivers. Next, a USB cable for charging. A large grip, so you can adjust between small and large grip on the handle. And a quick start guide. You can download the full manual from FlySky website, link in the description below. Finally, we have the base, which is a battery pack. Essentially, it's a power bank, and you can use it to charge your device too. To install the base, push it up and slide it backward. Let's take a closer look at the transmitter. The frame of the screen, the arm, and the base are aluminum. The rest are plastic, and the quality is superb. It uses internal antenna, so there's nothing sticking out for you to break. Overall design is sleek and compact. On the transmitter, the buttons and dials can be assigned to different functions. There are two knobs on either side. These knobs are separated so you can set them up to do different things. And there are other two dials on the grip. However, these two buttons on the grip work as one switch. And there are a couple of 4-directional sticks and 2 paddles on the wheel. So there are 11 configurable switches in total. Wheel tension, and trigger size are adjustable. And to adjust the wheel position, you'll have to pull the wheel quite hard, so it is not going to move easily when you drive. It talks.
Welcome to Noble. Signal lost. Shutting down.
And it has vibration feedback too.
Welcome to Noble.
The grip is a combination between plastic grip, matte plastic handle, and rubber at the front with vibration motor inside. It is very comfortable, and everything falls into my hand very nicely. There are two batteries, 2000 mAh in the handle, and another one is the base, which is 4300 mAh power bank. You can use only the transmitter without the base, and it is much lighter this way. However, you still need to attach the base to charge it, or to use the USB port. And when you combine them together, the battery lasts very long. The base has rubber feet, so it stands without slipping or tipping over. The screen is 3.5 inches capacitive touch screen. The menu is clearly labeled. Navigation and settings are very easy. It is pretty responsive as you can see here. However, the screen brightness is not so good, and you can't see anything under direct sunlight. It claims that the latency is less than 3 milliseconds, and judging from how fast it responds, this figure is believable. It is 4-channel radio out of the box. The firmware is upgradable, and the latest version expanded it to 8 channels. However, as of now there's no 8-channel receiver yet. The protocol is AFHDS3, which is a new protocol, and it doesn't have backward compatibility, so you can't use any of the previous FlySky receivers. Next, let's take a look at the receivers that work with this radio. Right now, there are 3 receivers, and none of them has gyro integrated. I feel like I have to point this out, because there is the letter G on the receiver's name, but they don't have gyro. Moving on. First, we have the big one. It is actually massive, but if you use it with a 1/10 car or bigger, then it's not so big. Next is the small receiver. It is very good for all cars, even a microcar 1/20th scale. However, it can rest the center of gravity as you can see here. So why don't we use only the small one when it is lighter and has much smaller footprint? What's the difference, you might ask? The big receiver has sensor port for extra telemetry, but the small one doesn't. The big one supports up to 12 volt, while the small one supports up to only 8.4 volt. The big one also has longer range, so you can choose the receiver according to your need. Finally, there is the receiver for Mini Z Evo. It is a special receiver and it is not widely available. You can only buy it from Kyosho dealers. I wish FlySky would make a micro receiver like this one, so we can use it in microcar without raising the center of gravity. I have pitched them the idea, so let's wait and see if they'll make one. The receivers are not expensive. Well, apart from the one for Mini Z, right now you can find them for as low as $26. On to the functionality. I'm going to highlight some important features and something that the manual doesn't show. If you want to know all the features, please go and read the manual. Link is in the description. To turn the transmitter on, hold the power button. You will see white battery icon, which means you are using the internal battery. If you want to use the external battery, press the button at the base, and you'll see green battery icon. Apart from the all basic to advanced functionalities like trim, EPA, dual rate, ABS, mixing, and speed steering, there are also stopwatch and telemetry. Right now, the telemetry can only display receiver voltage and signal strength. Since there is sensor port on the receiver, I'm sure they'll add more sensor readings in the future. It can save 20 model memories, and that should be enough for anyone. You can only use a receiver with the model memory that you bind it to. Here's how this works. I have this receiver bound to memory 1 and 2, and you'll see that it works with the memory 1 and the memory 2. But when I select other memory, it can't find this receiver. And you'll also see that I can't change the model memory or turn the transmitter off when the receiver is still on, which means there is less chance of the car running away from losing the signal. This is pretty much idiot proof. Next, you can switch between digital servo and analog servo output. If you use digital output on analog servo, it might be buzzing like this. To do this, you need to have the receiver turned on first, otherwise it won't switch the servo frequency. You can also set the custom frequency as well. With the custom mapping buttons and dials, you can make them do many things. As an example, I'm gonna show you my on-the-fly dual rate throttle setup. Imagine when the battery is full, the car is too fast and it is a bit of a handful to drive. With this, I can map a dial to throttle dual rate. Then turn it down at the beginning. And once the battery has gone down a bit, I can use my thumb to slide the dial and increase the throttle without going into menu. Another thing I use frequently is the timer. so I map a paddle to start a new lap.
Timer start. 1 lap. 3 laps. Timer reset.
It has steering mixing for crawler as well. You can also map the buttons to change the steering mode. It can also be used as a joystick for RC simulator like VRC Pro. Go to System, USB function, and select Noble Emulator. Then simply plug micro USB cable to the base, and it will show up in the game controller. This is very convenient because I don't have to use the DRZ adapter anymore. Another great thing about FlySky Noble is that it has wider PWM pulse range than other radios. This means you can move the servo further, which can be useful for some chassis, and also when you use it with a modified or DIY chassis. On to the good, the bad, and final verdict. I've been using it for more than a month now, and I don't have anything to complain. The reliability is rock solid. I have never had an interference, or loss of control, or runaway. Touchscreen makes it easy to use. The response is rapid. I really feel connected with the car. Not just the latency, but the resolution is great too. Wheel and trigger are very precise. They also have no dead zone in the middle, and I am able to control the car precisely with confidence. It is also very comfortable to use. The positions for switches and dials are perfect. It is not heavy, but if that's too much for you, you can use a neck strap or just detach the base. The one thing I don't like is the charging indicator on the transmitter. It always blinks, so I have no idea if the internal battery is finished charging. So I only look at the base. If that's full, then the internal battery should be full as well. With the price tag of $180, it is quite expensive. However, it offers everything you'll ever need. And the receivers are cheaper than other radios in this class too. I highly recommend it, especially if you are looking to buy a mid-range to high-end radio. FlySky Noble is also one of the few radios that support Kyoto Mini Z Evo, and it is the cheapest one that has all the settings. Otherwise, if you only need a good transmitter that is not expensive, easy to use, reliable, and has all the necessary features, RadioLink RC4GS or RC6GS is all you ever need. And that's it for this video. Please subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and press the bell icon to get notification whenever I upload a new video. You can follow me on Facebook to see what I'm doing between videos, along with some quick updates. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.